Good evening and good to have you with us in this edition of the Urban Debate. I am Tanvi Shukla and straight on to our big conversation point and the big story. The farmer groups have called for a nationwide Bandh tomorrow. After several rounds of talks between the farmers and the centre have failed to reach any conclusion over the new farm laws. There will be a chakka jam between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. while the Bandh is expected to last the entire day, during which the farmers have called for shops and mandis to remain shut. There is a possible impact on delivery of essential commodities, especially milk, fruits and vegetables. This is because the farmers have said that they will not be delivering and many of these mandis may remain shut. As many as 22 political parties have extended their support towards the farmers' Bharat Bandh call. Farmers, however, and this is important to highlight, maintain that no political leader will be allowed to be part of their protest. That cannot be with any party's symbols. They are maintaining their distance from politicians trying to hijack what is essentially a Kisan Andolan in this country right now. The centre has issued a countrywide advisory asking all states to tighten security and ensure that COVID protocols are maintained. For the next few minutes, we're going to go across to our reporters from different cities to give you a sense of whether your life is going to get impacted in your city. Now, while there is a wide-ranging support from various associations, from transport associations to auto taxi unions to even the traders and the bankers, but many of these services in most part of India is likely to be functional tomorrow. What will get hit are the services in national capital as well as, of course, in the state of Punjab. These are the epicenters for the farmers' protest, and this is where we're likely to see all big impact. Now, let's go across to our reporters. Alok's joining us from Delhi, Shreeja's joining us from Bengaluru, Gurpreet Chinna's joining us from Chandigarh, and I've also got Mayuresh joining us from Mumbai. Alok, let me come to you first. The biggest impact is expected in the national capital, though we know the metros will run. What else will be shut and what will be functional?
Yes, Tanvi. So definitely the national capital is going to be impacted very much. What we are sensing right now, because the Delhi government's-led, the Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government has also supported. In fact, that there are various organizations, various groups are coming towards the national capital. 4 borders are heavily affected, 2 are completely sealed, 2 are partially sealed, and in fact at the daytime, at some for few hours, both the borders were today also shut because the farmers organizations were kept coming in the afternoon time. So definitely for the enforcement agencies and for the security agencies, the national capital is very important. And in fact, because the farmers were trying to go towards the national capital, so it has already become very important. So as far as the mandis are concerned, all 4 mandis of the national capital, that include Asia's largest mandi, which is Azadpur Mandi, that called for shut, and in fact the traders there, they have put up the board outside the mandis as well that it will remain shut tomorrow. So definitely the essential items which usually comes through these mandis, that is not going to come tomorrow. In fact, the farmers have also threatened that tomorrow that these essential commodities will not be allowed to be supplied. That also includes milk and vegetables. So apart from that, the taxi unions, most of the taxi unions have said that they are supporting the farmers, and in fact Ola Uber taxis will not be running tomorrow in the national capital, but auto rickshaw unions have said that they are supporting farmers, but they will be operational because due to the corona pandemic they are already in losses. As far as the buses are concerned, no official confirmation whether the DTC buses will be running or not, but what we are learning, it will be running. Metro as of now it will be running, but as far as they will decide for further course of action as per the condition, as per the situation tomorrow. So as of now, what we are learning, metro will also be operational. So it will be mixed response. What we are learning, but also the market association, many market associations have also said that they will remain shut. But big markets like Sarojini Nagar, Lajpat Nagar, and also Connaught Place will remain open. So we have to wait and watch that how it will pan tomorrow. But as of now, that's the farmers who are protesting here at the national capital. They are saying that they are getting huge support, and they are hopeful because they know that if they want to build the pressure, then they have to make it successful. Back to you.
Yeah, and of course, the numbers there have been growing in the last few days with more and more farmers joining them. They've repeatedly said, let's keep it peaceful. That's the intention. But let's see what's happening in other cities. And first, I just want to go to Gurpreet, because in Punjab, also many services are likely to be impacted. Gurpreet, give us a sense of what will be functional and what will be shut tomorrow.
That in Punjab we have seen that there is a huge response of this Bharat Bandh, because this was the first point from where the protest has started, and finally it has reached at a national capital, where we have seen for the last so many days the farmers are sitting here. If we can talk about even the national highways, state highways, all the highways including the toll tax and every way, there will be complete shutdown of the services from 11 to 3 p.m. What they have decided, all the farmer unions, they will be on the roads, they will be sitting in front of the toll taxes. And if we can talk about the markets, the market association, most of the market association, they have already made announcements that they are not going to allow anyone to open the shop, because they want to show the solidarity toward the farmers and all the traders unions as well as the employee unions. Even if we can talk about Chandigarh, we have seen that all the political parties, they will be on the roads, and at the same time employees union, they have also decided to hold a protest in favor of farmers. So there is a huge response from overall the state, and at the same time we have seen that the bus services are suspended, and the guidelines have been issued by the state government that from 11 to 4, especially from 10 to 4, they have already given directions to the residents of Punjab that they should not go anywhere. They should drop all the plans, because yesterday they had already made a route map for this thing, and tomorrow it's a big day for Punjab state, because we have seen that the people that especially that the women farmers, that the families of the farmers, they had also decided in each and every village, if we can talk about the response of the protest, that each and every village, they have already decided that they are not going to open a single market. And at the same time in Mohali, especially in Chandigarh, we have seen in sector 17 plaza that a Bandh call has been made by various employee unions. They are going to hold a protest from 1 onwards, and at the same time that national highway from Chandigarh to Delhi, that was also decided to block by the Congress leaders. They are bringing a lot of tractors there. They are not going to allow a single movement. So tomorrow is a big day for even the commuters, for everyone, and especially if we can talk about Punjab. Punjab is the one who has taken initiative, and that's why it is expected there will be a lot of response from the various pockets of Punjab.
Okay, so we're going to keep coming to you tomorrow through the day, Gurpreet, to do a check on how it's impacting life and how much support has come for the farmers. Let me go across to two of our other reporters from Mumbai and Bengaluru. Mayuresh, to you first. In the city of Mumbai, a lot really depends on transport, and those services, we understand, will not be impacted tomorrow.
Absolutely, Tanvi. The bus, the train, as well as the auto rickshaw and the cabs will ply, and there will not be any impact on that, because their association, or we can say their unions, have not given any kind of call. What is important is that even restaurants and hotels will also remain open, because when we had word with the AHAR, which is the umbrella body for the restaurant and hotel association, they clearly said that we have not given any kind of call for this bandh, or we are not even supporting. So our members will remain open. But what remains shut, that is APMC market largely, because of that it may affect the city like Mumbai for the few essentials like vegetable and fruit, because from today itself, by today late in the evening, the APMC market will get shut, and the truck and tempo service as well as the private buses will not ply because their association has also given the support. Surprisingly, All India Bank Employees Association have also shown their support to this Bandh. So it would be interesting to see that how much the services or functions of nationalized banks in Mumbai city and in Maharashtra get affected, because most of their employees are members of All India Bank Association employees. So if we talk about Mumbai city, there will not be much impact of this Bandh. That's what we are gauging right now, the information which we have. But when we had word with the Farmers Association or the farmer leaders, they said that they are concentrating more on the rural part, especially cities like small towns like Nasik, Pune, even in Ahmednagar, Akoli. These are the farmers belt, the milk producing belt. And in the past also we have seen and we have experienced when the farmers have given the call for the Bandh or the protest, these were the areas where the maximum impact was seen, and because the farmers have come largely on the road and they have made that earlier Bandh successful. So it would be interesting to see that how much this time this Bandh will get successful. And as I said, the impact will remain high, especially in the rural belt where the farmers belt, which is called even in Western Maharashtra, even in Ahmednagar district, including the Pune city and the market yard.
Okay, so a lot of it, of course, is these vocal support that they have shown, but on services front, not too many may cancel it. What remains to be seen is the other groups outside the city of Mumbai, and whether they, after a wait and watch in the early few hours, decide to shut down their services. Shrija, what about Bengaluru and rest of Karnataka? What can people staying in that state expect?
Well, as far as citizens are concerned, Tanvi, we're looking at the transport services. However, because of the pandemic, we do not see much of the people really venturing out to use the public service as far as bus or auto, or for that matter, even taxi is concerned. But what we're hearing from various associations, first coming to the Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation and the Bengaluru Metropolitan Road Transport Corporation. Now, the government has said, the transport department has said that the services will continue, it will remain uninterrupted. Coming to metro services, what we also hear is that they will continue their services, they will suspend the services only, of course, if there are any untoward incidents are reported. And we also hear that as far as essential supplies are concerned, from the APMC market, we hear from the president that they will be shut off. But remember, there are small stores who have already stocked up the supplies, but since it's only for tomorrow, one day, that they say it is not going to be much of an impact as far as citizens are concerned. And more importantly, coming to the security arrangements that's been made here as far as Karnataka is concerned, where even Basavaraj Bommai, Karnataka Home Minister, he stressed upon the fact that all the measures have been taken up. And as far as the police officials who are going to be deployed at certain strategic points, including the toll, the highways, include at least about 127 platoon of Karnataka State Reserve Police and also 5,000 home guards, including the Central Armed Force and the District Armed Force. So clearly we're looking at a huge deployment of the corps at various strategic points to ensure that there are no, in fact, untoward incidents are reported.
All right. Thanks, Shrija, so much for joining us. In fact, thanks to Mayuresh and Alok as well for those updates. We'll, of course, tomorrow morning also keep a close watch on how things are panning out and how much of normal life is affected and to what extent do the farmers get their support. But for now, let me also say good evening to the panelists who are joining us for a quick sense of what is on the cards. Bal Malkit Singh, Chairman for Core Committee and former President of the All India Motor Transport Corporation with us. Mr. Singh, what is the extent of Bandh that the transport sector is likely to see tomorrow?
First of all, thank you for inviting me for your show. All India Motor Transport Congress is the apex body for the trucker and the transporters, with 95 lakh truckers as its member and 3,500 state, district, taluka level association affiliated to it. We have already announced the support to the farmers. We are with the farmers, and in future also our support will be with the farmers only. In regard to the nationwide Band, Bharat Band called by the Farmers Union, in our today morning meeting, it has been decided that we will participate in this Bharat Band, and our all the vehicles pan India will be not operating, and all the 739 districts pan India in the truck terminals and in the collector office we will be holding a demonstration and will be submitting a memorandum to the collector commissioners. And similarly, the 35 district of the Maharashtra will be observing a protest at the truck terminals and submitting the memorandum to the collector and the commissioners. As far as Mumbai is concerned, we have organized a car bike rally, which will start in the morning 10 a.m. from Panvel and which will terminate at Marine Drive, where the human chain will be, with the human chain, taking all the precaution of the COVID guidelines, wearing a mask, 2 gaj ki doori. We will express our solidarity with the farmers, and we, with the folded hand, we will be appealing to the government to resolve the issue amicably at earliest.
Okay.
This is our plans for tomorrow also.
All right, Mr. Bal Malkit Singh, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a quick understanding of what your association is planning for tomorrow. Let me also go across to the representative from the Rashtriya Kisan Sangathan, the president in fact himself, Mr. Jasbir Singh Bhatti is joining us. Bhatti ji, namaskar, thank you for joining us. आप ये बताइए कि कल का क्या फाइनल प्लान डिसाइड हुआ है किसानों का आंदोलन और भारत बंद के लिए?
नमस्कार मैडम, कल का जो प्रोग्राम हमारा फाइनल हुआ है वो चक्का जाम का हुआ है, भारत बंद का हुआ है। चक्का जाम भारत बंद ये प्रोग्राम है और इसकी कॉल 2-3 दिन पहले दे दी गई थी। कल जो भी तैयारी आज हमने की है, हर जगह पे हर संदेशा एक भारत के कोने कोने में पहुंचा दिया गया और हर बच्चे के मन में है पूर्ण भारत बंद रहेगा। सभी मंडियों ने, दुकानदारों ने और सभी ट्रकों वालों ने, बसों वालों ने यस की है, उन्होंने समर्थन दिया है। पूर्ण भारत बंद की तैयारी है और पूर्ण भारत बंद बहुत ही सफल होगा, क्योंकि आज एक एक बच्चा देश का किसान के साथ खड़ा है। वो कहता है किसान का हक दो, हमें जो टाइम लगता है, जो भी हमारा नुकसान होता है होने दो, किसान का हक है जो देने के लिए बच्चा बच्चा देश का तैयार है। मगर एक सरकार है जो आनाकानी कर रही है और समा टाइम पास कर रही है।
जी भट्टी जी, एक सवाल और आपसे। 22 पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ने भी आपकी बंद को सपोर्ट किया है और अब वो भी अलग अलग तरीके से प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, पर आपका क्या संदेश रहेगा नेताओं को और पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को कि ये जो किसानों का आंदोलन है ये कहीं डिरेल ना हो जाए दूसरों की वजह से?
नहीं, डिवाइड नहीं होगा। ये आंदोलन हम अपने किसान के हाथ में ही रहेगा। कोई भी किसान यहाँ राजनीतिक नेता कोई भी आता है स्टेज पे, वो बड़े प्रेम से बैठ के सुनकर जाता है। किसी राजनीतिक नेताओं ने स्टेज पे आके अपने बोलने का, अपना विचार रखने का आज तक बोला भी नहीं। समर्थन पूरा दे रहा है राजनीतिक दल जितने भी हैं, हम उनका स्वागत करते हैं। जैसा हमारा राइट है उससे भी वो आगे बढ़कर समर्थन दे रहे हैं। इनके साथ साथ सामाजिक संस्थान भी किसानों के समर्थन में आ जुटे हैं, जिनका भी बहुत भरपूर समर्थन मिल रहा है। राजनीतिक और सामाजिक के बाद किसान के पास दुकानदारों का, ट्रेड यूनियनों का, सभी का समर्थन मिल चुका है। एक अकेली सरकार एक साइड पे खड़ी है, बाकी सबका समर्थन मिल चुका है।
जी, जो है सरकार के साथ बातचीत वही सबसे ज़्यादा अहम और महत्वपूर्ण है। उसका अगला राउंड अब भारत बंद के बाद ही देखेंगे। भट्टी जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए, शुक्रिया हमारे दर्शकों से बात करने के लिए। नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द अदर एस्पेक्ट एंड यू हर्ड viewers what the farmer representative had to say. Jasbir Singh Bhatti there very clearly saying that all political party leaders can come, they can be part of our crowds, they can sit there, be a part of the Andolan, but they cannot make political speeches from our stage. So far the farmers have managed to keep the politicians at bay. In fact, most others who may be wanting to and looking to hijack their protests, they have managed to keep it apolitical. What happens next, of course, remains to be seen. But what about these political parties? The 22 parties that have now come out and found this as an opportunity to go after the central government, to question the central government. Now, we're going to talk about the debate that's been reignited about the double standards of some of these political parties, whether it's the Congress party or it's the NCP and even the Samajwadi party. What have they in their term done for now them to turn around and question the current government? That's what the BJP has been repeatedly asking. That's the question I'm also going to ask tonight to some of our political representatives while we continue to question the government on their policy with these farm laws. Let's say good evening to Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson for the Samajwadi Party, T.R. Prasad Gowda, leader of the JDS, Sudesh Verma, spokesperson for the BJP, Maisinder Singh Grewal, Senior Vice President and spokesperson of the Shiromani Akali Dal, joins us this evening, and Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson for the Congress Party. And Mr. Sapra, I want to start off with you first. The Congress Party sat on the Swaminathan Commission report for 12 years. And their easy solution was to announce farm loan waivers than to fix the farmers' problem. Is it okay and right for the Congress Party to now try and jump on the bandwagon and hijack the Kisan Andolan today?
See, let me make things clear that Mr. Swaminathan report, he had proposed 201 points. Out of that, 175 points were implemented, 26 points were left. That was because we needed more deliberation. We needed stakeholders to be consulted. We need to have a wider perspective on those 26 points. And thereafter, we lost the elections and BJP came into power. Now, as far as the current situation is concerned, see, the farmers are getting support from all over the country and from all the parties. As far as Congress is concerned, we have shown consistency while opposing these farm bills. From day one, since the ordinance was brought in Parliament, the Congress has been opposing. Shri Rahul Gandhi, he went to Punjab, Haryana for a tractor rally. There were protests across country. The Congress has protested in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, everywhere. So Congress has shown consistency in opposing these farm bills. But I fail to understand that why BJP doesn't want to legislate this.
No, but before you started showing consistency in opposing the farm bills, you also showed consistency in not doing anything about the farmers. Let's get this very straight, Mr. Charan Singh Sapra. The farmers have now opposed and protested in such large numbers today, not just overnight about the three laws, because for years and decades now, they have been ignored, forgotten, betrayed by government after government in every state. So now to say this is all BJP's fault because they brought in some reforms wouldn't be fair.
See, farmers are today protesting because they are against these three farm bills. And when are these farm bills bought? It's bought in...
They are demanding a law for MSP. Where is your law for MSP? You promised 50% MSP across crops. You didn't deliver on anything.
See, if we did not deliver, people did not choose us. People have chosen BJP. So BJP has to deliver what they have promised. They had promised so many things. They have to deliver their promises. And further, these three farm bills, the farmers are protesting. They are saying that 37 clause they have objected. Why government is not giving an early answer? Why government doesn't want to include MSP in legislation? Let the BJP answer that. Why government is not answering to their problems since 12 days? Why they want these farmers, poor farmers, to sit on the road in a cold weather? There are old people over there. There are old ladies. There are children over there. Why this government is becoming so insensitive? This is the moot question today.
Okay, let me ask Sudesh Verma to respond to that. Your insensitivity over the last 3 weeks, Mr. Sudesh Verma, that's the charge from political parties, including those who couldn't do anything for years.
The test of the pudding is in the eating, isn't it, Tanvi? And if you see the kind of things we have done for the farming community, from soil health card to crop insurance to now the recent one, Atmanirbhar Bharat package of 1 lakh crore for building agriculture infrastructure, rural infrastructure. These are things never done. You see, Swaminathan committee report, what he is saying is not correct because they debunked it. They put it in the dustbin when the report came. We dusted it, took it out, and we have implemented most of the things that impact the farmers. And Mr. Swaminathan himself has appreciated. He did not appreciate any government, but the Modi government for implementing those things what he recommended. And we are committed to strengthening the farming community, double their income by 2022. But we have to find out the ways. We are talking about 3 laws. We are not talking about MSP because that system continues. And the assurance has been given by the Prime Minister, by the government, and various other authorities that nobody is touching that MSP, and you have seen the kind of procurement of Kharif crop that has been done. It's many more times more the Congress could have imagined, because Congress used to announce MSP politically but never procured under the MSP to the extent we have done. This was the fraud they committed in the farming community, but we have implemented, and there's no reason to doubt that. Now coming to farm legislation, the agitation is essentially against farm legislation, isn't it? So the government is saying, let's talk on each and every aspect. We are ready to discuss. You see, it is democracy. We can always talk, we can discuss, and if the demands are genuine, they should be accommodated, isn't it? This is the way the government works. This is the way the country goes, by logic, by argument, by rationality.
Yes, but in the 12 days, Mr. Sudesh Verma, both you and I will struggle to find specific examples of what it is that the government is willing to negotiate and go back on or change. Well, we keep hearing this, that we are ready to go clause by clause, but the only 2 examples that I have heard is possibly a discussion and change in the stubble burning law, which is not even one of the core issues, or the electricity bill.
Not even in the legislation.
So, yeah, exactly. Yes. So then what, give me an example. What is it that the government is willing to negotiate or change on?
I'll give you an example. You see, we have not taken away anything. When you take away anything from someone, then there could be real opposition, isn't it? We are giving you additional things. We are empowering, creating a parallel market system, which you may or may not use depending upon your idea about things. But you are preventing to other farmers from availing this opportunity, isn't it? If they want to use this route, you are opposing that.
Okay,
so
before
I've never seen such a thing where you oppose something which is being given by the government. This is strange, but the government is ready. You spoke about, going to court about appeal. Yes, that is something which can be discussed. So come with the specific points. You don't say that yes or no, you scrap the law. This is not the way to go. Leave it between farmers and the government. Please don't interfere political parties. Don't try to bask in the glory of farmers' agitation. Don't try to ride their shoulder. We know your opportunism because you are looking for opportunities to oppose Modi government. You have failed in parliament. You have failed in
before I go across to our other panelists, let me get a quick response from the Congress party on the last comment made by Sudesh Verma. Mr. Sapra, do you want to respond to what Sudesh Verma is saying?
Yeah. See, I wanted to say that whatever Mr. Sudesh Verma or the BJP is saying, but the farmers are not convinced with that. Farmers are still sitting at the borders of Delhi, and more farmers are pouring in from different states. Then what is the use of explaining all these things? The organization of farmers, the leaders of various organizations have gone. They had 5 sittings. The BJP government is not able to convince them. So better you agree to what they are saying. These farmers are finally Indians. You can't punish them like this. So this is about that.
Okay, let me bring in
This is political. Yes. This is political accusation, what he's saying.
Yes.
Nobody is punishing farmers. We are questioning that you had taken a stand, Tanvi, which you enumerated also. Now you have changed your stand. Tell us why you have changed your stand. Is it not because of political opportunism? That is the issue. With farmers we can talk. Farmers were happy also that yes, talks were going in the right direction. And that is why they said we'll come for another round of talks, isn't it? But if politics comes to play its role, then it becomes very difficult.
Yes, and I'm going to keep the two separate because just like in the earlier days, the BJP said, well, this is all political protest and the farmers are not really either being misled or they're not understanding or they are, these are political protests. I would say the farmers genuinely have reasons for concern and those of the government to allay Politics is a completely different matter altogether. I want to give an example to our viewers. For example, in the NCP, we try to get in touch with many spokespersons to get them on the show. We had one of them who did then for other reasons cancel, so which is why I don't have an NCP representative on the show. But I do want to tell our viewers this example. Mr. Sharad Pawar, who has now very clearly taken a stand of backing the farmers and asking the government to rethink on these laws and to go back on these laws, and now claims that even in the parliament session they were vociferously against it. He himself in 2010 wrote a letter to the then Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit stating the need for private sector participation in agriculture sector. Today, the farmers are saying if you bring in the private sector, we are concerned with what happens. Today, everybody is saying that you bring in the private sector tomorrow, we don't know what prices the farmers will get. Where has the position changed? Not just this one time. In 2011, again, he wrote to the then Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, who is now back, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. The letter again said private sector participation is important for agricultural reforms, and both times he advocated for reforms and changes in the APMC Act. So for political parties within the state of Maharashtra all the way up to the center, when they couldn't make these changes, when they were in power, is it fair, Ghanshyam Tiwari, for any of these parties, including yours, to now stand up and try to use this for your own political advantage?
Well, Tanvi, there is a difference between deliberation and dictatorship. I can tell you what dictatorship would look like. Calling farmers terrorists, Khalistanis, a minister in UP government calling them gundas. Today, when the Samajwadi Party said, our national president, former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh said that he wants to peacefully march in Kannauj in support of farmers. What was the need of a dictatorial Yogi government to barricade like a military chhawni from his house to the Samajwadi Party office? Arrest him, arrest our MLAs, arrest our MLCs, arrest our spokesperson. What do they want to state? They want to state that if you protest as farmer, we'll call you terrorists, Khalistanis, gundas, and if somebody comes in support, we will blatantly put them behind bars and demonstrate our high-handedness. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad did a press conference today. Do you know, Tanvi, he said that this government has done 9.2 million consultations with farmers. Can Sudesh Verma ji, and I respect him, is very articulate, right, and very responsible in his voice. Can he tell us 5 organizations? Or Mirror now very objectively covers this entire farm protest, has covered this entire farm protest. Can you name 5 organizations that this government has officially, formally named that they consulted? Here is the Indian Express that says that first they brought an ordinance. They are claiming in press conference today 92 lakh consultations. They will not be able to name 5. Any editorial is saying this, that they first brought in the ordinance, then with a voice vote without counting the majority, pushed the parliament to pass it in an unfair manner. They did not allow the nation to deliberate on this. Today they are saying that they are ready to sit with the farmer clause by clause, deliberate on it, after beating the farmer at midnight with water cannons. What kind of government is that? Did they come to power on Mr. Adani's promise? Did Mr. Modi tell Mr. Adani that his income will be doubled by 2022, or did he tell the farmers? Mr. Modi spoke about MSP in 2011. He spoke about 1.5 times the input price to the farmers. You cannot win the votes of the farmer and go and sit with the corporate or crony capitalist.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, let me pick up that question. And Sudesh Verma already, I think, has the answer. Five organizations, farmer organizations.
You see, it's not. You must know that we have a very strong organization that is dealing with farmers, isn't it? We have a Kisan Morcha that deals with all kinds of farmers organization, and we are very strong there. Swaminathan Committee report, which is called National Commission on Farmers, that is the name of Swaminathan Committee report, consulted many stakeholders, took so many years, gave reports in 4 installments.
Sir, there
was a committee of, listen to me please, Ghanshyamji, you asked a question. Let viewers get
just one brief. He spoke about 92 lakh consultations in 4 months.
No,
he
I
spoke
cannot
about 92
list
lakh
out
consultations in 4
all
months.
the lakhs of this is foolishness to ask me. You don't want to waste time of Mirror now. They've given up. Let us communicate our messages to people who are listening to you, because it's a very sensitive issue. And state ministers, they had a committee. They also gave, and your leader, Your leader Mulayam Singh Yadav ji, Samajwadi Party took a stand, yes, it needs reform. Rahul Gandhi ji, he said, yes, it needs reform. So we have done, there was a consensus on this. All stakeholders were consulted, and Miss Captain Amrinder Singh, who has now made an issue in 2016, he said that because of Akali's objection to Reliance, farmers are losing. And he cited examples that how farmers have gained 3 times the money of what they will get by selling the crop in the APMC. These are the statements and the realities. But because of political reasons, you have taken a U-turn without explaining why. And that is precise problem. We have problems with you because of a double standard, double speak and political opportunism.
But Mr. Sudesh Verma, isn't it true? But Mr. Sudesh Verma, because you quoted the Kisan Sangh, isn't it true that the Kisan Sangh has also said and is also unhappy with the way this has been dealt with? Isn't it true that they've also said that the government should speak to the farmers on these issues?
Tanvi,
I've had the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh representative on my show, and they have said this.
Tanvi, I entirely agree. What you are saying, your contention is correct. Concerns of farmers need to be addressed. We all agree, and that is why the government is talking, despite the fact that Parliament has legislated, because government genuinely feels
So
that
then obviously, even the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh wasn't consulted.
No, Akalis, what did the Akalis say? They walked out.
They also said they were not listened to.
But when they
not
realized
heard.
political opportunism, then
No,
they
let me
realized
ask him.
political opportunism.
Mr. Mahichandra Grewal is here. I will ask him.
When ordinance was passed.
Isn't that what your party said, Mr. Mahichandra Singh Grewal, that you were not heard? That your minister was part of the cabinet, her objections were ignored?
I will ask my dear friend from BJP, can he answer my 2 things? Why they are opposing? Yes. Why you are opposing what Sushma ji and Arun Jaitley said? Second thing, you enacted this act and implemented in UP, Bihar. Why 10,000 crore rupees UP farmers and the Congress leaders earned by selling their rice in Punjab? If this act is so effective, why they have brought their produce to Punjab? Now the third thing is, I can vouch it, that ask your record that when you formed the committee of the chief ministers, in which Punjab chief minister was included, whether Akali representative in the central government was taken into confidence? Answer is no. We were not even aware. And I ask him very humbly and politely, if he can prove on this record that Biba Harsimrat Kaur, when the ordinances came to the cabinet, didn't she represented and gave in writing that stakeholder needs to be consulted? If you can deny this, bring the record of the cabinet.
I'll answer.
And last thing I am telling you, that your MPs from Haryana, your chief minister from Haryana met Akali leaders that we should jointly fight this law before the center. On the day the bills were to be presented, we have to jointly to see the BJP President Mr. Nadda at 11 o'clock. But at 10:30, we got message from CM office Haryana that they have been stopped by party high command. And we the Akali leaders met Mr. Nadda. And Mr. Nadda informed us that he will talk to Amit Bhai and PMO. Our 2 demands were there. First, don't present this bill to the parliament. Second, if at all there is a compulsion, refer it to select committee and give sufficient time to farmers to make their representation. Ask Mr. Nadda that within 1.5 hours, did he not inform our president that PMO is adamant to present and get these bills passed? Is it not the truth? How you rushed it?
Can I not respond?
Yes. Let him respond. Let him respond. Yes.
This is huge. This is breaking news.
First of all,
this is huge. You must recognize what he's saying.
Hey, come on here. Let me answer. It's a question asked to me. You understand? You see, Sushma ji's statement is often quoted. Let me tell you that do you want the farmers to depend on private money lenders?
Yeah.
Who charge a very high interest rate and exploit farmers because they also take their produce on cheap rate because they have financed their activities? Or you want them to depend on the banking system, which we have strengthened after the Modi government came to power? You have seen how Jan Dhan account has been opened. You have seen how the government has got directly linked to the people. Now they have no problem of credit facility if they want. And these legislations are going to help them. On the contrary, it's going to strengthen agriculture. Because the system has changed. A lot of waters have flown down the Ganges after that. So put things in proper context. Now coming to Akali Dal. You were the part of the cabinet when ordinance was passed. Your leader said that yes, we'll need to convince them. Whether you were consulted or not, I cannot say, because cabinet is a very secret kind of operation, and every member of the cabinet is supposed to own that responsibility, even if you are a minority in the cabinet when the decision is taken. That is the principle of parliamentary democracy, isn't it? But later when you realize that farming community were getting agitated, or you were too much in awe of the middlemen who have hijacked the system, then she walked out. Okay, she has to do her politics. We don't mind. You can do your politics. But finally, you have to think about the country. 86% of farmers are small and marginal farmers. MSP covers only 6% of farmers who are very rich, well organized, and they manipulate the system. So the government should think about it. 6%, or the government should think about those 6% who have manipulated. So please don't tell us. People know, those who are discussing and those who are organizing discussions, those who are organizing the protests, we all know what is happening. It's not that, but we are convinced that logic, rationality and argument should dictate democracy, and not just emotion and passion, and just because political parties think that farmers have come and it's great opportunity to put Modi government in the dock. That is not the way government runs. That is not the way democracy should run, isn't it?
Okay, no. So then
Tanvi,
tell us
Tanvi,
this. Tell us this.
can I get 30 seconds?
30 seconds. Yes. 30 seconds.
Yes. I think he has solved the problem. This is what Punjab farmer is saying, that 6% farmers who are getting MSP on wheat and rice, that is going to be stopped, and he admitted that only rich.
No, I never said that. I never said that it will be stopped.
Then who are the? You are saying it. That only six are getting benefited. This is the only fear of the farmers. You have come out.
No, Mr. Grewal, he is only saying that the MSP is only applicable to a very limited set of crops. So how can that be the biggest issue? Why is that the fear?
You are conducting very good show. I just asked with him, all my humbleness at my control, that can he tell why Makki is not being purchased on MSP, why cotton is not, why the pulses, why the oil seeds,
that is
they
the
have
question.
announced them.
Mr. Grewal, that is definitely a fair question. That is something that I will ask all political parties. It's exactly that. Why has nobody done it? Why has no political party done it? Why has no state government done it? Suddenly everybody is so concerned about the minimum support price. But which state government has done it? Every day we are told by political parties except the BJP that this is a state-run subject, that the centre should not have gotten involved, that the centre shouldn't have come up with these laws, they should have left it to the states. Delhi has its own set of rules, Punjab has its own set of rules, Bihar has its own set of rules. Each state government and each state has its own farming sector. Why is it, Ghanshyam Tiwari, that no other state till now has managed to bring in what the farmers are demanding then, if we are so concerned about them?
Well, Tanvi, I think political process truly gives a voice to every demand that any constituent makes. You look at the elections that happened in Uttar Pradesh. BJP was forced to speak about the sugarcane farmers. In Madhya Pradesh, the parties promised that they will waive the loan of the farmers. So the fact that there's a live, vibrant political process means that the political parties make their demands, make their appeal to the farmers. This BJP government made an appeal to the farmers that we will give you 1.5 times the input price. They said we will double your income by 2022. This is where the lack of integrity in their promises come. And I think it is huge. This is breaking news that what is being spoken by the SAD spokesperson.
Alleged and questioned.
That BJP chief minister in Haryana was wanted to speak to Mr. Amit Shah so that this bill will not be presented in the parliament on the day it was presented. That is what every editorial is writing, that what was their tearing hurry to push this bill into the parliament, deliberate it, pass it without deliberation, with voice vote, without majority, and then bring it in the face of pandemic. There is something that BJP is hiding. BJP thought that the farmers are facing pandemic, they will get away by this murderous act, but that SAD, a constituent of NDA, said one, stakeholders should be consulted.
Yeah.
So far, Mr. Sudeshwar Verma has not said which are the 92 lakh farmers. It's not a small number.
I'll give you a list.
92 lakh farmers were consulted according to Mr. Ravi Shankar
I have a
Prasad
number.
in 4 months. In 4 months, as per his own press conference. You tell me which are those 92 lakh farmers? Not one farmer in this protest on any of the Delhi border will tell you he was consulted.
Okay,
So
two
where did
things
you
Mr.
find
Sudesh
92 lakh
Sharma needs to
farmers?
answer before I go across to Mr. T.R. Prasad Gowda. But Mr. Sudesh Sharma, one, who were the representatives that was spoken to and you discussed this with? And two, what was the hurry to push these reforms through the parliament?
You see, it's the second answer will answer the first question because I'm not here with the list. Of course, the government has spoken and the government must be having the list. If you want to file an RTI, you will get that. That is the process through which you should go. That's the process created by the government. Okay. Now coming to the second issue, which is very significant. You see, we must understand that farmers of Punjab are agitating majorly. There is a Bhavantar Yojana in Madhya Pradesh through which the Madhya Pradesh government has assured farmers that if any crop which gets MSP is bought less than MSP price, the government will compensate that. So the Punjab government could have easily done that if it was so much concerned about that. But the issue is not that. They have fueled the protests because they sensed a political opportunity. And these Aratiyas, these middlemen, are definitely linked to political leadership there. Everybody knows about that. And we know that when the ordinance was passed, a lot of consultation was done before that. You see, here is a Prime Minister who comes from a poor family and he knows the pulse of poor people. And the people of this country trust what he says and not what you speak on television.
Mr. Sudesh
or Mr. Rahul Gandhi or
Sharma,
others
you
say.
just need
And
to
I'm
look
telling
at
you
what
with
is happening at the
complete
borders of
authority
the
and
city where you are. You just have to see, Mr. Sudesh Sharma, what is happening at the borders of the city where you are, and then all the way up north, you will only see people on the street, farmers on the street protesting. So, I mean, as far as the pulse of the people is concerned, there is something clearly amiss here.
Can I give a response to that?
Yes.
There would be around, say, 12 crore farmers, isn't it? If you add their families, it will be 50 crore. Some people say it's 90 crore. Whatever the case may be, okay. But you see, majorly in other parts of the country, you don't see this agitation because farmers are benefited. In Bihar, APMC doesn't exist. In Kerala, APMC doesn't exist. Most of the things. You see, I heard a story yesterday. There was a story from Kashmir that the apple growers are getting 3 times of the prices they were getting.
Yeah.
Because they have an open market. So such stories are coming. You know, farmers who are real farmers still in the field, they will get the benefit because they can sell it to anyone. Now, the bigger farmers who are more organized, they buy their produce because they finance their activities and they sell it and get the price.
Okay.
The poor farmers don't get.
All right. Charan Singh Sapra wants to respond to that. Yes, go ahead, please.
See, the BJP spokesperson just quoted Bihar and there's no APMC in Bihar. Let me remind you that since this thing APMC is abolished in Bihar, the per capita income of the farmers has reduced to half of that of...
No, you have no right to say because you said that APMC should be abolished. You said that APMC should be reformed, isn't it? In your 2019 manifesto. Why did you say that? Tell me. Captain Amrinder Singh was a part of that manifesto committee. You can't have such double speak. So blatantly you're lying. You advocated that. And now you are saying that no, don't do this.
We have to listen patiently.
I have no problem with farmers.
Okay. Let him make his point. I want to understand how the Congress party justifies this. Yes.
See the income per month of a farmer in Bihar is from 3,000 rupees to 4,000, whereas the income of farmer in Punjab and Haryana is from 10,000 to 12,000. That's
so.
Why,
at what point, Mr. Sapra, did the Congress party realize that repealing the APMC Act is not a good idea?
It is not a good idea, and let me remind you that
at what point did you realize that you were the biggest advocates of bringing in APMC reforms and doing away with the current system? I am reading a tweet of the Congress party from 2013. Rahul Gandhi actually saying all Congress ruled states will delist fruits and vegetables from the APMC market to lower the prices.
Tanvi, you have to give me a chance.
Yes.
Listen to me very carefully without interrupting me. Please. You never interrupted the BJP spokesperson for 5 minutes also.
Mr. Sudesh Sharma will very vociferously disagree with you on that.
No. Don't interrupt. See, if you are talking about...
You see, come with logical arguments, say
okay, let him speak. Let Mr. Sapra make his point. Yes.
What kind of spokesperson BJP has sent? Listen. See, if you talk about vegetable,
Now you have become personal.
items, and while removing perishable items from APMC, Congress had they did a deliberation. We consulted with the stakeholders. It was not done overnight. It was not done by the way of ordinance. It was not done while the pandemic was on. We had a detailed discussion on that. If you are talking about APMC reforms, yes, we wanted APMC reforms. And we had stated in our manifesto that we'll be creating larger small markets in every village so that a small farmer who has land less than 2 acres or 3 acres, he can cultivate his land and he can sell his crops in those small markets. We wanted reforms, but we wanted after discussing it with the stakeholders.
Yes, no, so I understand this. We wanted after. So here is what the country's farmers have to deal with, and this unfortunately is their bad luck, is their destiny. On one hand, they had a government. 1 minute, I got your point, Mr. Sapra. On one hand, they had a government and a party in power for 10 years.
This is not the way, please. I just give me 30 seconds more. See,
they support them, but they are against the way.
30 seconds to Mr. Sapra to finish his point. Yes.
Prime Minister in 2011, when he was a chairman of a committee of corporate affairs, he submitted a 20-point program to Dr. Manmohan Singh, the then Prime Minister. And what were the major points in that? That MSP should be mandatory inside and outside the mandis. The second point was that there should be fast-track courts. Third point was that essential commodities should not enter the future trading. Now, why he's taking a U-turn? Why he's bringing these?
Why couldn't you implement them? Why couldn't you implement them when you remained for 3 years there? Why couldn't you implement them? Why couldn't you implement them? When you were there for 3 years after that.
So many years, you did not do anything.
No, even after this report.
One at a time, please, gentlemen. One at a time.
You remained in power 3 years after that.
Reforms because you are supporting the bigger stakeholders.
One at a time. One at a time. Okay, why couldn't you implement them when you were in power, Mr. Sapra? Do you have an answer to that question? 10 years your party was in power. Why couldn't you implement them?
But simple one.
No. I said we wanted APMC reforms. We have written it in our manifesto.
Yeah.
But
you wanted consensus that you didn't get.
No,
that's all.
If we could not do something, we are not elected also.
Okay. Fair enough. Let me put it like this. This is what I was saying earlier. So this is the destiny, the unfortunate status of affairs for farmers in our country. That on one hand, they had a political party that kept coming up with reports after reports, commissions after commissions. They say they couldn't do anything because they wanted to build consensus. And for 10 years when they were in power, they couldn't do anything. Not that the Congress party, wherever it is in power in the state, has brought about any reforms. Congress party's first answer and last answer to all things related to farmers is a farm loan waiver. Then comes another political party that in the first term doesn't do anything, then comes up with a set of reforms and pushes them through saying enough is enough, our farmers have waited for too long, these are the reforms, this is what we are going to implement, we have the majority in the house, we are going to put it through. And the end result is still that the farmer doesn't seem to be very happy with it. Mr. Gowda, is it fair for any political party today to claim they stand for the farmer then?
This is not fair for any political party for that matter. Today's situation in Delhi center, especially center, during the course of the debate, our BJP friend Sudesh Verma was pointing that Prime Minister has come from the poor family and he can understand the farmers' problem. But I wanted to tell him, Prime Minister Modi, yes, everybody thought so. He will take care of the farmers, he will take care of all country people, all 130 crore people are his people. Now, what's happening on the roads of Delhi, on the roads of Punjab? See, farmers, when farmers do not want something and you wanted to forcibly trying to implement, see, you are waiving off the loans of the industrialist, big industrialist. You have not shown any little 1% concern from the farmers. See, this is what happening all across the country. Last term itself, our Devegowda ji in Ramlila Maidan very rightly said, what he said, when you please take care of the farmers, the governments who are in the power, who have not taken care of the farmers, those governments have gone. Because farmers are the art of this country, because most of our country livelihood based on farming. Today, our farmers wanted to ask their rights. You are not allowing them to protest, and you are making them to go
But
go
may
back.
I remind you,
Our
Mr.
Sudesh
Gowda,
Verma-
that in that limited time period where you were not able to finish your term, but you were in power, you couldn't even properly implement the farm loan waiver that you had announced, let alone a proper scheme to benefit the farmers.
The more than 10,000 crores of rupees already dispersed to the farmers, madam. Please, I can give you the each and every data, because
Yes.
when
And
I'm
how
talking
long
to
did you take?
over the
And
national
how long
channel,
did you
I
take
should
to
be
finish
very
that as
careful.
a percentage of what you had announced, Mr. Gowda, versus what you had promised?
We have done, madam. You are done. I can.
Yes, please tell me.
See, 54,000 crores
Can I-
we have promised. We have promised for 54,000. But,
Correct.
madam, you should appreciate our patience. At least when in the coalition, we have tried to do good for the farmers. But you have here in the center, I wanted to bring it to the whole
Mr.
country
Gowda.
notice.
Farm
You are-
loan
can I-
waivers are never good for the farmers. They
No,
only
no.
give them
No,
immediate
when-
relief so that they
madam,
don't kill
madam,
themselves
madam,
tomorrow.
this
That's
Prime
all.
Minister-
That
this
doesn't
Prime
make their life
Minister-
any different.
this
You
Prime
waive off
Minister
one loan,
doesn't
tomorrow
have
they would have
small
taken the
courtesy.
second loan because their life hasn't changed,
Madam,
Mr.
you are
Gowda.
directly pitching on me.
Can I respond, Tanvi?
Madam, this Prime Minister has got all the powers, but he has not shown small courtesy for the farmers, for the farmers. And I do not know. He is only behind industrialists, Ambani, Adani. He is trying
This is wrong.
to
This is
please
wrong.
those
Absolutely
industrialists.
nonsense.
He
Okay,
never
okay.
tried to
Absolutely
please
trash.
the
ठीक
farmers.
है.
What you're
Quick
talking is
response. Quick
absolutely
response,
trash,
Sudesh
Tanvi.
Verma. Yes.
Tanvi, I completely disagree. When I spoke about the Prime Minister first coming from a poor family, I meant that he knows the pains of a poor family and is working to empower them. Farming community comes in that. Coming to Mr. Devi Gowda, he was the Prime Minister. Had he worked for farmers, even when the government was brought down by the Congress, you would still have survived or won back. You could not do that. You lost even Karnataka because of that. JDS could not do anything much because you never bothered about farmers. Let's know, people have voted Modi ji with a lot of enthusiasm and aspiration about
Today
a
you are
strong
in
India.
power.
And he's
Let's not
implementing
talk
all those
about
things.
politics.
Have you
Today
heard,
you are in
have
power.
you heard about
What you are going to do for the farmers?
Talk about that,
How
no?
you are?
I know the entire history
How
of
you are
the
accommodating these
The
farmers?
Prime Minister who used to
Okay,
get
okay.
come from
Gentlemen,
Bharat
I'm sorry, I have to come in here. I am
New
sorry, I have
Delhi.
to come in
New
here. I'm
Delhi.
completely
Whole
out of
country is
time.
looking at you.
I must also highlight this is the first.
My dear
I am
friend.
completely out of time. I will have to thank all of our panelists. Thank you. Thank you to all of our panelists for joining us. I must also highlight this. It's been a while since we've had a political debate on this. Because so far our focus has been the farmers. Our focus has been on talking to the agricultural experts. Our focus has been on talking to the farmer unions. It's just that because there have been 22 political parties who've now found an excuse to go after the government, that we decided to question these parties, question the Congress party that couldn't bring in one single big reform for the farmers except announcing large-scale 70,000 crore farm loan waivers during their time. Everything else was just on paper. Parties like the Aam Aadmi Party, who've taken one stand in one state and another stand in another state when it comes to the farmers. Parties like the Samajwadi Party, when they were in power in Uttar Pradesh, they couldn't bring in one reform for the farmers who also in the states like UP continue to kill themselves buried under debt. Parties like the JDS, along with the Congress, parties like the NCP, who change their stand every few years, knowing very well that in their own state, their only answer to solution to the farmers' problems is a farm loan waiver. The fact that hundreds of farmers every year kill themselves in our country, the fact that hundreds of farmers are buried under debt in our country, the fact that there are lakhs of them protesting right now isn't limited to these 3 bills. It is because for decades now, party after party and government after government, we have ignored them, ignored their voices, which is why this time they refuse to go back unless they are heard and constructively heard. What happens in the Bharat Band tomorrow, we will keep a close watch, but one hopes that the farmers who are protesting continue with this very clear discipline and do not allow the selfish political parties to hijack their Andolan. This is what we got shots of the Mandi there in Delhi. This is the Azadpur Mandi that will be shut tomorrow because of Bharat Band. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.
ये बंद सुबह से लेकर शाम तक है। इसमें चक्का जाम जो है दोपहर 3 बजे तक रहेगा। लोग अपनी अपनी सहूलियत के जरिए 11 से 3, 10 से 3 या 3 बजे चक्का जाम खत्म हो जाएगा। बंद पूरे दिन के लिए है। दूध सब्जी वगैरह का भी हमने कॉल दिया है कि नहीं आएगा। अस्पताल के लिए एम्बुलेंस सर्विस, शादियों वाले या इस तरह का जो इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज है वो जारी रहेंगी। भारत बंद जो है ये पूरी तरह शांतिपूर्वक है। हमारा कॉल है, कोई जोर जबरदस्ती या कोई चीज करने की हमारे साथियों ने अपील की है कि नहीं होगी। तो राजनीतिक दलों को हमारा आह्वान है कि उन्होंने जो हमारा सपोर्ट किया, हम उनका धन्यवाद करते हैं पंच इंडिया के, लेकिन उनको हमारा अपील ये है कि वो अपना झंडा बैनर किसान संगठनों की जो सपोर्ट करने के लिए आए हैं उसको घर में छोड़ के किसानों के स्पष्ट आके वो बंद में शामिल हो।
कल बंद रहेगा, चाहे वो व्यापारी हैं, चाहे वो कोई भी ट्रेड है, वो हमारा पूरा समर्थन कर रहे हैं और वो पूरा टोटली बंद रहेगा। इसमें कोई शंका नहीं है कि कोई भी हमारे साथ चक्का जाम होगा तो होगा, बिल्कुल होगा।
जिस तरह एक बात बता दूं मैं कि कल हर एक, चाहे वो ट्रांसपोर्ट यूनियन हो, चाहे रोडवेज हो, चाहे बिजली कर्मचारी हो, ये हर एक कर्मचारी और हर एक किसान की कॉरपोरेट के खिलाफ आर पार की लड़ाई है।
तो आप करें तो देश किसानों का कल्याण, हम उसको तरीके से करें बातचीत करके तो आप सड़कों पे आते हैं। ये हैं डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स, हम इसका जबरदस्त विरोध करते हैं। तो फिर मैं कहूंगा कि ये जो आपका दोहरा चरित्र है शर्मनाक, कि अपने राजनीतिक अस्तित्व को बचाने के लिए भले ही किसान के नेता आपको नहीं बुलाते हों, लेकिन आप किसी भी सीमा में जाने को तैयार हैं। ये देश के सामने आना जरूरी है।